Weed. Nothing makes an old person sound more like an old person than when they say marijuana. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's like it just ages you like 40 years. It's an amazing thing. Okay, and if you're somewhere in the middle, dacha. If you're a little younger, the giggly twig. Okay, it doesn't matter what you call it. The wacky tobacco. It doesn't matter. You know what it is, what I'm talking about. And here's, is this the first time you're hearing weed in church? Okay, someone preaching about it. No. All right. Is it okay for me as a Christian to smoke weed or consume edibles? Oh, yeah, I put edibles in there. Some of you are like, oh, he was just going to talk about smoking weed. Is it okay for us to do that? And here's the technicality that came into smoking that's different for weed. Smoking has nicotine, which is addictive. Weed technically isn't addictive. That doesn't mean you don't want to keep on doing it, okay? It may not be physically addictive, but certainly psychologically it has an addictive property to it. But that was the big kind of thing on smoking. We don't want to be enslaved. And now you say, well, maybe weed doesn't enslave you. Well, in South Africa, maybe you didn't know this, it's legal now. Actually, it's only been drafted into law last year, that it's now properly legal to grow and keep and use cannabis for personal use and on private property. I hope that hasn't given anyone ideas. Again, if you're an adult over 18 years. If you're younger than that, nothing at all, ever. Not even with the coolest parents in the world, okay? Nothing. If you're under 18, it's a criminal offense for you. So if you're a teen who's a Christ follower and your genuine desire is to honor God, part of that is keeping the law, which means weed is completely off limits. The trickiest part of this question is for adults because legally you are allowed to partake of the herb. The question is, should you? Should you? Well, like many things, the Bible doesn't directly say that you can't smoke weed. But that's not always a good reason not to do something. Okay, it also doesn't say you should skydive without a parachute. But we know that that would be pretty doff, right? What the Bible does teach directly, though, is that we are to be sober-minded. We are to be sober-minded as believers. And although throughout the Bible it's talking about alcohol, the principle is that God wants his followers alert, clear-headed, of sound mind, and always ready to be a witness to the good news. The high from weed diminishes that drastically. 1 Peter 5 verse 8 says this, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. And when you are not alert and of sober mind, he finds you much easier. You're easier prey. You're the weak one that the lion always goes for. And this is where weed is different to alcohol. You can have a drink and it's not going to make you intoxicated. For some of you, it will. But for many people, having a drink or a sip or whatever is not going to make you intoxicated. With weed, it's one hit and you're intoxicated. And let's be honest, that's the whole point. If someone bought weed and smoked it and didn't get high, they would be upset. Because the whole point is that it would take you out of sober mind, right? And so it is different to alcohol because you can enjoy a half a glass of wine and not be intoxicated, but you can't enjoy half a spliff. Sorry, my high school days are all flashing in front of me. Again, if I blushed. Let's move on. So as an adult Christian, is it okay to smoke weed? It's not. It's not. Because you aren't alert and sober-minded. It's a form of escapism. It's not something God wants for you. It is not part of His best for you. You are not ready to do God's work when you're in that space. Are you with me?